Meraki, which is the master evaluation. In the master evaluation session, we have DTM Subh to evaluate the evaluators and then provide them feedback. Over to you, DTM Subh.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Good morning, Meraki once again, and here's my evaluation to the evaluators. I will evaluate both of you from two perspectives. One is the contest perspective, which we tried out today. Evaluation contest will be coming up, and also from the perspective of how you should have evaluated on the objectives of the speech as well. So what I did was I did an evaluation of my own and I compared it with both of your evaluations from both the perspectives. I have seen most of the things you covered, both of you, that what are the good points and what are the suggestions. Some you had also pointed out that the research was not the same. Puthadan had pointed out, both pointed out in your own way, and that was one of the biggest factors which I also noted. What I felt both of you missed was the why factor, which I see in a researcher speech. That is why I did this research. What made me to get in the research? That is something which always a research speech should have. Otherwise, it sometimes becomes a boring speech, which was not, but that why factor should be mentioned at the front. So that is a recommendation point which I felt both of you missed. You have noted all the other things that were there in the speech. Something which I look for an evaluator. In fact, why I keep saying this to everyone, why Vijay stood at that stage picking up the trophy, was because of the perfect blend between the compassion she shows on stage and the technical aspect of the speech she delivers on stage. It cannot be only one part of it, right? Where I saw a lot of compassion for the speaker in Puthadan, similarly I did not see the compassion in you. I saw a lot of technical aspects of the speech in your wordings, which sometimes were a little too ornamental, but it was missing in Puthadan's speech. So it has to be that blend where you show a little bit of that authority and you have those technical terms. A very useful technique which I also use, and I'm sure Vijay will also comply with that. Go back to your CC manuals. In the CC manual, use words like purpose of the speech, the structure of the speech, you use the square technique, you use the inspirational message, these things, the simple words, when you use it in your evaluation, it makes it sounds very technical and very energizing for the audience and the speaker. So use those things. For Shankar, as I said, few things looked a little too ornamental. How you said it, it was a little evident that you have just thought about it and you are trying to fit it into your evaluation. Try to overcome that. If you can say it more confidently, it will sound very confident. Something which I felt was wrong, you mentioned, was the elevated pitch, and you gave the example of the woman giving birth. Elevated pitch is the first pitch that you do, not something in between your speech. So be very careful when you are using a technical term. Don't use something wrong. At the same time, you did not, as an evaluator in a contest, you did not say my recommendation would be. These are some things which we always look in a contest. Conclude, say to summarize. These are basic things we cannot miss when we are contesting in an evaluation, right? Similarly, when I looked at Puthadan's evaluation, I felt there were a lot of personal connect with the audience. You have to be a little bit more confident when you're, even if you're saying something wrong, even if you have doubt in your mind, don't show it to your audience. There, when you are here as an evaluator, you own the stage. Whatever you're saying is right and the speaker has to take it. That should be your show, how you present yourself. And that's where I felt if you would have structured your sentences a little more in a cohesive and a more authentic way, it would have come out as a better evaluator. I would have given you more marks as a contestant also if I'm a judge and you are a contestant. So having said that, that's my this thing. So remember, try to have authenticity, try to have the technical terms from your CC manuals, and when you are doing all these things, remember the basics in evaluation, that to summarize, to give you a recommendation. These are the basic things where we get marks, and all the best for your future development. Thank you.
So in the interest of time, we will take the timer and